Okay, figured this would be the easiest way. Just lay it all out on the floor. This is every component that would be on a tractor and a trailer. So, of course, in the tractor you got the monitor, and you got the monitor harness, and a 5-meter cable that runs from the monitor down to the back, and then the 7-pin connector mounted on the back of the tractor, and of course the coil cable. And then the trailer, you got the connector in the front. Sometimes it's in a nose box, sometimes it's drilled into the body of the trailer. Typically you've got a 20-meter cable that runs from the front all the way to the back left lower corner. On a short trailer you might have a 15-meter cable, but if you have a 20-meter cable you'll be good for all of them. It doesn't matter. If you have a little bit extra wire, just coil it up in the back. And then from the back lower left corner, typically that's where I like to see the connector. Some of them do mount it maybe towards more of the center back of the trailer. But anyway, you got a 5-meter cable running from that point up along the frame rails inside the lift gate, and of course to the camera on the up on top by the lift gate. So for troubleshooting, what I have found, the best way to do any troubleshooting, if you don't have the system working somewhere along the line, if you got a break in a cable, some corrosion, the best way to figure it out is if you've got the tractor and trailer hooked up and you don't know which one is not working. Having a spare camera and a trailer connector, you can isolate the whole problem. Of course, take it apart, you eliminated all that, you got a good working camera and cable. You plug that in. Okay, now you know the tractor's working. So you've eliminated that, so now you can do some troubleshooting on the trailer. So if you have it hooked back up to the trailer, now that you know this cable all the way back is working, now if you have just a camera, you can isolate where is your problem, Little by little you can either, whatever the easiest connector to get at. Sometimes this lower left one in the rear is really easy to get at. So basically, you're taking it apart, and at each point you're reconnecting the connector to see what's working and what not working. So by just having a camera you can do a lot of troubleshooting, but having a connector you can at least isolate it where the problem is, tractor or the trailer. You can do the same thing with these, with the camera at each connection. A lot of times you don't know where the problem is, what cable is broken, where the corrosion is. And by doing this, you're taking everything apart too, and you're checking the connections to make sure there's no corrosion in them. You can go right directly to the monitor. And so you're like, okay, is the monitor bad? So you can hook the camera directly up to the monitor, right inside the cab. And that way you've eliminated a whole system, if the monitor is bad. So what I've done, and if you happen to have an old monitor, you can also make your own test kit too. And basically I just put ring terminals on the wires, and you can use any of these batteries. Most of the monitors, these ones are good for 11 to 32 volts, and these are 18-volt batteries, and typically they are marked positive and negative, so that you can verify that. And then on the trigger wire, this kind of breaks down how easy the system is. Got a power and a ground, and the trigger wire is hooked up to the reverse light wiring. If the monitor is off, so basically when you go in reverse, you're putting power on that wire, and it's just turning the monitor on. So it's up to you how you want to test them, but to me, having the camera and having this extra connector is the fastest way to do any troubleshooting. You can go through and measure voltage on the different wires and go through, but if you have some corrosion, you might have just enough to give you the voltage measurement you need, but it might not be enough to power on the camera. So that's where having an extra camera does come in handy. And So as far as, you know, when you do find corrosion, if you can clean it, that's great. Sometimes they are bad enough you do have to replace the cable, which is not fun. But recommendation, dielectric grease. This ECK stuff that I found is really good. I don't know if you've ever used this stuff or not, but it's good. Any dielectric grease will work. You know, put a little dielectric grease in it, and then, of course, I'm not going to do it right now and make a mess, but you know, just put enough in there, maybe a little bit on the threads. And the best thing to do is take some tape and tape the connector up good. Just, you know, to prevent any water from getting in, just go around. Usually go around a couple times, you know, and seal it up good. You know, you can get a nice good seal on it. You know, that way you don't get any moisture in there at all. But you're probably going to find working on some of the trucks, unless it's ones that I've worked on in the past, when I used to go on the road and work, I would do an inspection on every tractor and trailer, even if it did work, because I would go ahead and put dielectric grease in them and tape them up, zip tie all the wiring up, make sure we don't have any problems with wires breaking and getting rubbed on. But that's a quick and dirty way to do some troubleshooting. It does show you the kind of the components that are in the system. It breaks it down. It's very simple. Monitor, 5-meter cable and connector and coil cable on the cab, and then 15 or 20 meter cable on the trailer, back to the 5-meter that runs up the rear channel and to the camera. It's a very simple. I'm hoping this video kind of helps simplify how the system works and how easy it is to troubleshoot it. I'll do some more in-depth videos. I want to take a connector apart and do some cable repairs. If you find a broken cable, instead of having to replace an entire cable on a trailer, you can repair it. They're really small wires. It takes a special connector. But I'll do some more videos on those, and I'll be posting those as well. So hopefully this helps you guys figure out the system. It's not hard. Don't make it hard. It's very simple to work on. The worst part is pulling a long cable on the trailer. Usually a couple guys is handy, but I did a lot of them by myself. And putting something on the outside, the plastic on the outside of the cables in wear areas, that helps to keep wires from getting rubbed through. But if you can at least check for corrosion, check for damaged wires, that's going to be the major part of your problems. You'll run across a bad monitor. Like I said, you can hook a camera right to the monitor and see if that's the problem. And of course, if you got these couple parts, now you've got a spare camera. The cameras do go bad as well. You know, do a good inspection of the camera, wipe the lens off. Sometimes they do crack, and I'm not sure why, but I've seen some crack and then they get moisture in them, but you definitely got to replace those. Anyway, hope this was informative, and check out the next videos. Thank you.